Welcome back to the Edwards Report. Today, we're diving into the world of car payments and prices. And I regret to inform you, again, that I found some of the most insane cases you'll probably ever hear. Let's get into it.
Over $96,000 for this 2024 Escalade. Man, that's a lot of money for a fancy Tahoe. Here's the Equinox EV, one of the worst purchases on the lot. These things are literally $60,000 sometimes for an Equinox EV. It's insane, and the only way they can sell them is with huge discounts like $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 off on an Equinox. That's how bad they priced them. $49,000, $83,000 for this one. This is a used one, 2023 model. Man, that's a lot of money. And think about the average used interest rate, 12% on $83,000. Wow. An EV Silverado. Let's see. This thing is going to be big money, I imagine. A whole lot of money, and it'll never, ever sell. $97,000. Can you believe that for a 2024 Silverado EV? And how long will this last before you have to, you got to get rid of it. You have to exchange the battery. Like, there's things you have to do. But obviously, most people probably won't keep it that long anyways. But still, we're going to check out this high country before we get out of here. This is a 2500 or a 3500 single wheel. Let's see what we got here. This is a work truck until they put this price tag on it. Let's see, $91,000. Oh my gee. And it's a 2500. That is insane, man.
And they have lost their ever-loving mind if they think, maybe they haven't. People are really out here paying $91,000 for a truck. Whew, that's wild. I remember I grew up in a place where you could drive down any neighborhood. Somebody got a truck with a for sale sign, a few grand here. It'll get you there. It ain't gonna look pretty, but it'll get you there. Driving by, a Food Max or a grocery store, and they just got the truck right there in the parking lot for sale. It's a little dusty, but it'll get you there.
The amount of people on this app that are defending their over $1,000 car payment is just absolutely insane to me. And there's one common denominator in pretty much all of them. So let's hear it. Tell me what you've got.
I built a 2023 Tahoe.
Just got a 2023 Suburban.
And then there's this one who basically started the whole trend. So let's hear it. What are your payments?
And my payments were higher than I thought. I thought they were going to be around $800, which was fine.
$800 a month for a 2023 Tahoe actually sounds pretty reasonable, but let's hear your final number.
But it ended up being $1,100.
So when the car came in, your payment wound up being almost 40% more and you still signed the papers. Why?
I'm in the mindset of, you know what, I don't give a crap anymore. I'm going to live my life and get what I want.
And what's the other girl's payment?
And my payment is $1,400.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the ability to make those car payments can be yanked from you at any second. I'm speaking from experience. And let me just tell you, I have experienced so much joy in the last 24 hours driving around my new, to me, vehicle that I paid cash for, knowing that there's no burden over my head every single month to make a car payment. I am so glad to be done with those and driving around in my little 2010 Hyundai Santa Fe.
I have a 2021 Ram Rebel, a 2017 Audi S6, and a 2017 Corvette Z06.
And what's your car payments?
For the Rebel, it's $1,159 a month. The Audi's $901, and the Corvette Z06 is $1,753 a month.
Yo, Darren, what car do you drive?
I drive a 2019 Audi e-tron, and my payment is $780 a month.
I've got three. I have my 2023 S5, I've got a 2010 S4, and then I've got the 2007.
Why do these people got three cars? Oh my goodness, this is making me dizzy.
Corvette.
And what are your car payments?
$850 on the S5, $650 on the Vet, and $450 on the S4.
Yo, Norman, what car do you drive?
This is my car, 22 Porsche Taycan.
And what's your car payment?
$1,367.
Yo, Mike, what car do you drive?
Drive a 2020.
That is a whole mortgage payment. No, it's like a rent payment, but that's crazy for the car that's going to spend 99% of its life outside.
20 Audi Q7 Prestige Black Optic.
And what's your car payment?
It's about $850.
Yo, Gurram, what car do you drive?
I drive a Lexus ES350.
And what's your car payment?
$700 a month.
Yo, VJ, what car do you drive?
An EQS 450.
And what's your payment?
Ooh, heavily $1,600.
Yesterday, what car do you drive?
I drive a 2022 Mercedes-Benz C450 Coupe.
And what's your payment?
It's about $1,275.
This is crazy. But we got to zoom out for a second, right? Maybe it's not about the cars. Maybe it's about the mindset. We live in a culture that values appearances over substance. People get locked into insane financial commitments just to flex for the gram or to keep up with what society tells them that they should have. But true wealth is about freedom and peace of mind, not keeping up with the Joneses. Jesus said, watch out, be on guard against all kinds of greed. Life does not consist in abundance of possessions. This is Luke 12:15. Are you guys letting possessions control you, or are you in control of your possessions? Because evidently, every time we do the Edwards Report and we react to these videos, sometimes I'll be wondering, there's a lot of people out there that are captured and controlled by the things that they have. I know a lot of the viewers here aren't going to have these problems. We're privy to it, right? But I got a question for you. What does true wealth look like to you? Let me know in the comment section below.
Always buy your cars with cash, or if the car company is willing to give you a 0% loan, I think in that instance, it's okay to take a car loan.
No hate to this creator whatsoever, but I feel like people with this hot take are not only out of touch with the car market, but just out of touch with the world in general. This creator says that having a car payment is a #1 wealth killer and that you should just buy a $10,000 car instead. But I guarantee you he doesn't know what $10,000 actually gets you for a car in today's market. Yes, I get it. No car payment is a flex. But what people don't understand is everyone that's riding around with a paid off car, it means that they paid it off. It means at one point they had a car payment, which there is nothing wrong with that.
That's not what that means at all, actually. That's just not what it means. I get what she's saying, but you can have a paid for car by going to the dealership and paying cash. Then you have a paid off car. Now I get what she's saying. Some people are, they got a new car and they made the payments and now it's paid for. Okay. But that's not really what a lot of people are advocating for. A lot of the more fiscally responsible, maybe a little bit more frugal, anti-car payment people like me we're saying find something as cheap as possible, pay for it in cash, and then work your way up. As you can actually afford these things, then you get them. But being underwater in these car payments is not it. So you got to lower your standards. You got to act your wage. If you can barely afford the payments, you cannot afford the car. Stop thinking that just because you can afford to finance this car means you can afford it. You can't.
Having a car payment does not mean you can't afford the car, and I wish people would stop saying that. I think in general, there's a lot of people that give money advice on this app as if it's a linear situation, as if everyone's pockets are set up the same, and that couldn't be further from the truth. In conclusion, I think the only person that can tell you how to spend your money and what to do with it is you. So don't even listen to me. But my money advice when it comes...
All right, so we're not going to listen to you. Next.
But it seems like a lot of people that already made their money, it seems like they don't understand how it is today with inflation and how expensive shit is. Especially all these rich people, these famous people, these politicians. I remember when the stimulus, and I completely disagree with stimulus because now you obviously are getting hit with the inflation from it. But with the stimulus, when they first gave out $1,200, these politicians were like, you just got $1,200. You should be set for months. And I'm like, are these people serious? That would go in a couple weeks, depending on the state you live in. Originally, I was in New York, and that would probably last you a week. But all these people, they're making these rules, and they're so-called representing us, with which they're not. They have no clue of what life is these days. And it's so frustrating because they will never get it. They never need to get it because they live in their own world, living great. And I remember one episode Dave Ramsey had, and I still like him, I still love him, and whatever. But I wanted to slap him one episode because they were talking about kids and childcare and stuff like that, daycare. And it's expensive these days. Luckily I have a stay-at-home wife for our son. And he's like, kids aren't expensive. I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? And the guy on the phone was saying how daycare was several $100s a month for one child. So if you have multiple kids, that's over $1,000. And like, it's insane that they just won't get it. Things have gone up so much recently, and they're not going back down. So I could go a lot deeper into this, which I probably will in other videos, but I just got home.
What are you gonna do? We keep hearing everybody talking about, oh, it's expensive, and we get it. It's expensive for everybody, even the rich folks. But what are you gonna do? Go on TikTok and complain? No, that doesn't help. What helps is being like, you know what? Regardless of how crazy and jacked up the situation is, because it is, and we hear you, you're right. You're not tripping. We're not going to gaslight you. You're not tripping. You still got to do what you can do to try to get ahead in today's world. Because here's the bottom line, right? Too many people, and this is just a fact, too many people are sacrificing their future for a temporary status. They are. They're trading their long-term financial stability for short-term ego boost. But here's the thing. True wealth building, it isn't glamorous. It's consistent, it's patient, and it's strategic. It's driving that old car until the wheels fall off, investing the difference and building real wealth over time. That's what it's like. That's what it's really like out here. Whatever that looks like for you, that's what it's really like. You cannot discredit somebody's grind and struggle to get to where they are and then tell them that they're out of touch and they don't get it. Yeah, they might not have been broke for a while, but they definitely get it if they didn't come from money on how to go from point A to point B. You have to ask yourself, though, are you trying to look rich right now? Are you refusing to delay gratification? Or are you trying to be rich? If you're serious about building wealth that lasts, then maybe it's time to reevaluate some of your financial decisions.
Grab a 2004 1500 Chevy. What's the matter? You broke? Can't afford a real man's rig like a Duramax? Something diesel that goes shh. Got a little half ton, little broke boy rig. Well, it's all paid off and I have no payment, so I feel like that's worth its weight in gold.
It really is, y'all, the peace of mind. Y'all who don't have car payments, comment down below. What did it feel like when you had it versus what it feels like when you don't? A lot of people just got their tax refunds and they have paid off those car payments. And I think that is a genius idea.
Do you have your truck paid for, all cash, or? I knew you'd ask that. My payment's $1,100. I can afford the payment though. $1,100 a month? You must do pretty well to afford the payment. It's kind of a steep payment, isn't it, for a rig? You must not have put much down. Rig's $80K, all right? And yeah, put $5K down, but I can afford it. And if you're asking what I make a month, I make $3,800 a month. I got plenty in the bank, bud. And I ain't.
The thing is, we've all met people like this, though. Like 30% of your money is going to your car. That's a yikes, y'all. I mean, at most, maybe 10, 20. I don't even want to say 20 because I'm anti-car payment, so I don't know what y'all are doing out there. 30% of your money should be going to your house or your living expenses. You really don't want to go over 25, but I know things are expensive out here.
I ain't gonna be pulling up to some girl's house, picking her up in a half-ton Chevy. That's for sure. I'm gonna be pulling up. This all sounds like a horrible financial decision. Like you should try to work your way out of that. You should shut the heck up and get yourself a Duramax.
The car market crash is not happening, and it's because of you. These are all bank repos being checked in, about to be sold at auction. Wide body Scat Pack 392 repo. Range Rovers, Kias, Mitsubishis, big trucks, Mercedes, all these repos. BMWs, brand new Ford trucks. The reason why it's not happening is because consumers and people are still signing 25, 28, 30% loans till this day. And even though I put out many videos and other content creators put out videos and help telling people and explain, stop getting in situations where you have so much negative equity, stop getting situations where you are signing for a high payment auto loan, high interest auto loan, people are still doing it. 2020 BMW X6 sitting here ready to go to the auction.
So this is a content creator who makes car videos, and he's trying to warn and educate people on how to get into better financial situations with vehicles, especially when they're trying to finance them or get payments. I've seen this guy's videos. He goes over the terms, he goes over the types of loans you should get. But yet, despite all this financial education, despite all of the resources out there on the internet, people are still out here getting 28 to 30% car loans cooked.
Really expensive, and like I didn't even think about it. It was just something that I needed.
What's your interest rate on the car right now?
It's like 23%, 25%.
25% interest rate, and then how much are you paying on the car? How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 21. A little like around $3,000 a month.
So you make $3,000 a month, and see, but
Pookie, you can't afford this. Take it back. Take the L. No, $1,300 at 21. That's a whole apartment, y'all. You can't get ahead doing this.
that's the thing. You're spending almost half of your income on this car, right? So
On my car, yeah.
Yeah. And do you pay any rent?
I do.
Okay, how much is your rent?
$1,275.
Nope. Cooked. Get rid of the car. Go live with your parents if you can. Get some roommates. You can't live alone. That sounds like living alone type prices. But then again, the cost of living has increased a lot.
Oh, wow.
Like,
Okay.
I wouldn't, if I would have seen your videos, I wouldn't have bought the car. I needed something quick and fast.
Got you. Okay. Look, I'm going to try to give you as much advice as I can. What year Camaro is this?
2015.
2015 Camaro. How many miles?
149.
How many money down to make the deal happen?
At least $1,000.
So you have $1,000 down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's the VIN number to the Camaro? 5 owners, 0 accidents, $5,000 to $6,000. So you're about $12,000 to $13,000 in negative equity.
Imagine you're underwater by $12,000 or $13,000 for the convenience of being able to pay $1,000 a month. It's not worth it, y'all. Some of these car payments, they're not worth it. I get it, Pookies. You need some reliable wheels to be able to get to the job. But this is how you get stuck in the matrix. This is how you get stuck in the system. This is how you become a slave to the system. Bad financial decisions like this keep you strapped in to terrible working situations. And you have no way of leaving. You have no way of getting out of it because you're not even making enough to get ahead. Really, you're making just enough to sustain it and go into debt a little bit each month so that when you look back over 5 years, you'll see, wow, I have $30,000 of credit card debt. I have $20,000 in personal loans. How did this happen? Bit by bit, 1,000 little cuts, 1,000 little decisions. Decisions like these, this is how you get there. Oh, bless her heart.
You're not going to be able to get into a Kia K5 for $2,000 down.
I kind of predicted this. I'm not a fortune teller. I wish I was. What I can tell you is, look at all these. I kind of knew this was going to happen. All of these Land Cruisers on the lot. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 6 just right here. And yeah, these things, let's see if we got any discounts. But I kind of knew this was going to happen just because how many Tacomas we got. I wasn't sure how exclusive or how many of these trucks we were going to get or they were going to get, but it's a lot of them on the lot. And now we're starting to see some discounts. So this is a $2,000 discount, and it's a 1958 edition. 4-wheel drive, 4x4, 4-wheel drive. So yeah, $2,000 off of these things because they're stacking up. And this is going to be fully loaded. And it's going to be for $71,000. I'll just be out here talking to people like I work here. I got to stop that. But $71,000. 71.
Ain't nobody paying $71,000 for that. Ain't nobody paying that. Where are people getting this money? Everybody's financing. That's right. 71,000? Why would you even finance that? Guys, what happened to the days where we used to drive hoopties? What happened when the days where the new cars that your parents were able to like save up and get 15, 20 years ago when you were a kid, you inherit, and then you drive till the wheels fall off in college? Everybody want to have it today. Nobody wants to delay gratification. But I would rather be in a hoopty, being looked at like I'm poor, but having the peace of mind, rather than trying to impress people who don't even know me, aren't even thinking about me, and then be under the weight of that debt. Working a job that I don't want to work at, where it's not even paying enough, but I can't even take a step back, go back to school, reskill, relearn some things, to be able to go get a new job because I can't afford a lapse in time. Look at all this debt. Y'all, we got to make smarter decisions.
You ever paid a down payment for your car? You got scammed like hell. Now, my boyfriend's dad was a car salesman. manager at that. And he told me that when you put a down payment on your car, the car salesman pocket it as commission. You think that you just put $10,000 on your car loan when really your interest was adjusted $10,000. Let me break it down for you. If you get a car that's $20,000 and the car salesman convinced you to put down $5,000, theoretically you will owe $15,000 for the car, right? Okay, but what if the car salesman says the car is $20,000 on a 15% interest rate and you put down that same $5,000? Now you notice the interest rate went down. So instead of it being 15%, now it's 7.5% interest rate. You didn't even pay attention to the interest. You just paid attention to your monthly payments.
No way people are doing this. No. Not even. I'm getting you 5 bands. That's going towards the principal on the car. That's what it's going down. I'm paying no interest down, like some points on the mark. People aren't doing this, right?
Let's go down. When all actuality, monthly payments went down because the interest went down, not
That is right. Folks are focusing on the monthly payment.
because of the down payment. Because this went right over your head, he pocketed your whole $5,000 as commission. Anyone that pays a down payment or trade in their car just to be upside down or losing money that they didn't have to spend is completely ridiculous. And we got to do better by knowing what the hell we're talking about when we are walking up in these car dealerships.
Stop financing cars. That's how you avoid this. Save your money. And do what Dave Ramsey be saying. Dave Ramsey said, pay yourself what you would pay your car payment, right? And you save that amount. If you're gonna pay $1,200 for a car payment, you might as well pay yourself that for like 6 months, all right? And then go get something. And then you drive that until you keep paying yourself that car payment. And you delay gratification. And you save up the amount of money that you want. You go buy that car in cash. I know it sounds crazy, but I've done this. And I haven't had a car payment in 8 years. 8 years. Cars paid off. I had a car payment for 1 month. And before that, I never had a car payment. I cannot express to you guys how much money we save because our overhead is so low. Stop. So there you have it, guys. High car payments are destroying people's finances, and they're being tricked into trading freedom for status and luxury. And as Proverbs 21:20 says, the wise store up choice food and olive oil, but fools gulp theirs down. It's about living below your means, building wealth, and investing in things that matter. So what about you? Do you guys have a car payment, or are you riding around debt free? Let me know in the comments. And while you're at it, be sure to subscribe and like this video if you haven't already. Thank you for watching once again. I pray that the Lord blesses you, that he keeps you, that he turns his face towards you, and that he gives you peace.